price tag. But does the bike have what Indian consumers want? Overdrive finds out.
Yamaha first previewed the R15 at the Auto Expo in January, and ever since then, we bikers have been eagerly waiting for its arrival. After all, it's not every day that you get a fully faired, liquid-cooled, 4-valve head, 6-speed transmission. I could go on, and the R15 has it all. It also has R-Series inspired DNA, especially in the styling.
If you didn't know better, you could actually mistake the trademark twin-eye front end for that of the R1 Superbike. Meaty in all the right places, biceps rippling under the sharply pulled back fairing, and perfectly executed graphics. This is also the first Indian bike to be sculpted in a wind tunnel with a proper usable fairing. Available for now in Yamaha Racing Blue and the black of our test bike, this, and we now have no qualms about making such a sweeping statement, is the best looking bike made in the country. A bike that will turn heads not just on MG Road but even on the streets of Paris. Equipment levels are top notch, including a digital dash, front and rear disc brakes, sticky rubber, alloy wheels, and of course full fairing. This bike does look the part, but how does it ride, and can it stop your heart like the yams of yesteryears? Well, it's time to find out.
This bike might only have 150cc, but it's liquid cooled, it's got fuel injection, a 4-valve head, forged pistons, and a diesel cylinder, all of which contribute 17 PS of power.
Yamaha isn't revealing actual performance figures, but they're claiming it to be 4/10 quicker to the quarter-mile mark than the nearest competitor and over 15 kilometers per hour up on top speed. That means under 18 seconds to 400 meters and a top whack of almost 150 kilometers an hour. And judging by the time spent on track, that doesn't sound overly optimistic. And thanks to fuel injection, the throttle response and power delivery is just incredibly smooth and refined. It's hard to go back to carburetors after this.
Now 17 PS might not sound like much, but this bike weighs only 120 kilos, and that means it has a very good power to weight ratio. That's the game that Yamaha are playing. It's not the ace up its sleeve, it's the superb handling.
The R-Series DNA is carried over to the frame. The R15 features Yamaha's trademark Delta Box chassis that's claimed to be 200% more rigid than conventional twin down-tube frames. Allied to meaty front forks and a monoshock at the rear, this bike rewrites all the handling benchmarks that exist in this country. Not only is she steady as an oil tanker at speed in a straight line, but she's fabulously flickable around the twisties, leaning on her ears so easily and inspiring so much confidence that even Ramu looks like Rossi. Around a track, the R15 will be impossible to beat.
End of the test, and we haven't even mentioned fuel efficiency, not even once. Well, with a bike like this, do you really care? What you will care about is the pricing. 97,500 ex-showroom all over India. It's hell of a lot, but when you're talking about India's first super sport motorcycle, and you're talking about a bike that looks like this, you tend not to make rational decisions.
Having tested this bike, I still had a few questions, and luckily the right man was around to give me all the answers.
We are here with Mizuno-san, the father of the R15. Well, Mizuno-san, why have you restricted the bike only to 150cc?
Considering the total, how to say, package, if we put so much bigger the engine, it will be costly, it will be heavy, it will be bigger, so on, so on. Then we think about the best, let's say, selection, which size. Then finally we arrived. For the moment, we arrived 150.
So that means that there will be bigger capacity bikes in the future?
I would like to say the total machine performance is not come from only the engine capacity. Other several factors are important. Then finally total package is most important. Then engine capacity is part of
It's part of the package, yes. Yeah. Compared to most Indian bikes, 150cc and above, this rear tire is quite narrow. What is the design idea behind that?
Again, when we consider the total package, the tire, if we put so big one, you can imagine easily, the tire has a weight. If we go flat, we are going to lose.
Yeah, you lose performance.
Okay. Then, in fact, this kind of size of the vehicle, this tire, enough function.
Well, that's Yamaha India trying to script a turnaround story. Time for a break, but when we return, it's Q&A time on Auto Selector.